Aloha gang, here we are at Kawaihae Harbor on the big island of Hawaii. We are starting at sea level and we are going to be going up to right up there. A little bit cloudy, you can't see the mountain right now, just some clouds between us and the mountain. We're going to be going to about just shy of 14,000 feet. So let's get in the truck and see what we got for state of charge. Let's fire it up here. Hear that bong bong? I have no idea what that's all about. Okay, we're at 100% state of charge. This is a standard range XLT. Guessometer is showing 235 miles of range. That's actually pretty darn accurate to within a couple of miles because my lifetime average is 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour over the last 13,278 miles, and that's over about 6 months or so. Yeah, so we're gonna start heading out, and we'll talk when we get up to Waimea. I'm gonna stop off at the post office up there and pick up a package. We'll check in a minute. Aloha gang, we are just making a temporary stop on our way here in Waimea, also known as Kamawela for the post office, because there are multiple Waimeas throughout the different islands. So this is what differentiates this post office from the other Waimea post office. It's called Kamawela. Okay, so we just went 11.6 miles and an elevation gain of about 2,600 feet up here. So we only did about 1 mile per kilowatt hour coming up the hill, but it's a pretty steep hill, so that's normal. And generally going down the hill, I usually gain about 12 miles of range from the top to the bottom, which is always fun. Let's see, so the next step, I'll probably stop along the way to do a little sightseeing and stuff. Right now we're in the little town of Waimea. It's a cute little town. It is of course raining. We went from 89 degrees down at the Kawaihae Harbor, and it is 72 degrees and raining up here in a span of 11.6 miles, which is always kind of fun. So yeah, so I think the next thing we'll do is we're going to start heading up towards the mountain and up onto Saddle Road, and I'll stop a little bit and give you some scenery along the way, and anything else I can think of to talk about, we'll talk about. So here we go. Okay gang, here we are. We're coming out of Waimea right now. I had stopped at the store to grab a few things, but now we're back on our way, and I thought I'd just show you some of the beautiful scenery around here. So this Waimea area gets a lot more rain than we do down in Kawaihae. So everything's a lot more green up here, a lot of grass and a lot of pasture land and farming up here. So yeah, so there we go. Check in a few more minutes. We are currently on our way to the visitor center. I think Google said it was 53 miles from Kawaihae to the visitor center, so it's going to be mostly uphill the whole way. So we'll stop on the saddle somewhere and show you some of the scenery up there as well. Hey gang, just turned on to Saddle Road, and we're now making the ascent up to the top of Saddle Road. I think we've got about 22 miles to go to get to the visitor center, and yeah, as you can see, it's a very scenic drive. Just to the left as we come around, you will see the base of Mauna Kea, where we're going to be climbing up to. There's little bit of clouds between us and the mountain, but it looks like it's clear up at the mountain. So that just to the left there is the base of Mauna Kea. So I'll check in a little bit, and we'll see how it looks as we get a little closer. All right, gang, this is our first real good look at the mountain. As you can see, it's pretty clear up on top, and so we're just cruising right along. We've gone 33 miles since Kawaihae, and I've got 157 miles range estimated, which is probably complete nonsense because I normally get 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and we're doing weird stuff like going up real steep hills and down really steep hills. So we'll check in here in a little bit. I'm currently at 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour. I think the trip going back down is going to be pretty exciting to see how high that gets. So anyhow, heading up the mountain. All right, welcome to the visitor center. We've got a little over 50% battery left. It says 106 miles of range, but who knows what that really is. We've gone 54.9 miles so far at 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour, and we'll get out and take a look around, and we got about an hour to kill here while we acclimatize to the elevation. Hey gang, here we are. We're at the visitor center, about 9,200 foot elevation with the Lightning. Take a little look around. It's a little cloudy up here and a very light rain. It's about 55 degrees. And this is the visitor center. So we have to hang out here for half an hour to an hour while we acclimatize to the elevation, and then we can head up. And just wandering down one of the little hiking trails that they have up here while acclimatizing to the altitude. Kind of a cool place, very kind of barren and stark looking, if you will. But also very beautiful. It's a pretty cool area. Okay, gang, we're gonna take off from the visitor center and head to the summit. So hang on to your hats. I'll do check-ins every couple of miles and show you some of the scenery. So have fun.
How many? Just you?
There's three of us. Yeah. Don't worry, I got one of these just in case. I'm gonna check it on the way down, just out of curiosity, but I don't think it'll use the brakes at all.
This is unreal. Yeah, I seen one. We kind of like was trying to get like these things for the fleet. Yeah. How long does it take to charge?
About 5 hours.
You get like a solar panels and stuff.
Yeah, we've got solar at home, and yeah.
And then how far can you go with a charge?
You can go about 240 miles on a charge, which on this island where you know, that's pretty much anywhere you want to go. We took it over to Hilo and back and got home with 55% battery left. It was a piece of cake. So all right.
Well, I'll be watching you, and
all right.
See how you
I want to see what the brakes are when we get down. I don't think they're going to be anything more than ambient temperature. So.
But if you're sick anytime, you just come back down. But
right on.
I'm waiting to see this thing come down.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
go. I think I mentioned when we pulled into the visitor center, but I'll mention it again as we take off from the visitor center. We're reading 103 miles of range remaining, and I reset the trip meter, so we're going to find out what kind of mile per kilowatt hour we get on this trip. It's about 8 miles to the top, and I'll check in with you in a few minutes. Okay guys, we're about 3.3 miles so far, and we're just about to come out of the clouds. Not a lot of vegetation up here where we're at. Not sure exactly what elevation we're at right at the moment. We are so far over the last 3.4 miles doing about 0.5 miles per kilowatt hour. We've got estimated 90 miles of range remaining as we get up here. We'll check in a little bit. Alright, we're approaching 5 miles in. The scenery is starting to make a pretty abrupt change. Different color lava rocks, and textures of the rocks up here are quite different. We are still at 0.5 miles per kilowatt hour and just hitting 5 miles now. The road has just turned paved, which is nice because it was very washboardy on the way up, and our average speed was about 12 to 20 miles an hour at the most. So we'll check in again in just a little bit. Okay, we just hit the 7-mile mark, and boy is it beautiful. We're just about to hit the top, and you're going to see the first of the observatories. Don't ask me to tell you what one's what. I did take pictures of all of the photos of them, so I can tell you later. But this is the summit here, and I'll keep the camera rolling as we get up here. About this point in my fiance's Nissan Frontier, making this last little trek to the top, the engine started smelling really hot, and the car smelled kind of half burnt for the next week or so, as the engine was gasping for air and probably running exceedingly rich. Coming up to this level of altitude, we're going to be just under 14,000 feet when we get up to the top here. So as you can see, the view to the right is pretty amazing. We are above the clouds, and we'll be getting a bunch of photographs and stuff when we get to the top with the lightning, with the observatories in the background, and it should be a lot of fun. I'll get some good panoramic video from the top as well. Alright, checking in a few. So here we are at the top, at the summit, as you can see, and the drive in. We are at 61 miles, excuse me, a little out of breath. There's very little oxygen up here. 8.5 miles and averaged 0.5 miles per kilowatt hour. So this is a little bit of a photo slideshow, if you will, from the top, and as you can see, the weather up there was fantastic. It was about 55 degrees or so most of the time. It's hard to explain how much you feel like you're on another planet when you're up there, because nothing looks normal. All of the buildings are super strange, and there's no vegetation, and it's just rocks everywhere, and so many different colors of the rocks, and it just doesn't feel like you're on the earth when you're up there. And I was super happy with the photos of the lightning. They came out really good. Nothing like having an electric truck sitting in front of a astronomical observatory. That's just not something you normally see. So it was a lot of fun, and I was joined by a couple of backpackers from Austria, and they turned out to be super nice, wonderful people, and we had a really great day. So it was a lot of fun. So, okay, let's get back to it and let's get down the mountain. Okay, gang, we are about to head back down the mountain. I got lots of really cool pictures. Range is 61 miles, it says right now. We are going to reset the trip meter, and I'll just restart the car here. And we're going to engage one pedal drive going down. Okay, drive mode, one pedal. And okay, so we are zeroed out here, and we'll see what we get by the bottom. Okay, we are headed down the mountain right now. We have gone 2.2 miles, and I have gained 5 miles of range so far. Okay, we are now at 4.2 miles, and I've gained about 11 miles of range so far. Check in again in a few minutes. We are now at 6 miles going downhill, and I now have 76 miles of range and counting, so I'll fill you in at the bottom. Alright, we're coming down to the brake checkpoint where they measure the temperature of your brakes to make sure you aren't overheating. We are now at 80 miles range, and we'll find out what our brake temperature is. Good. Did they get used at all? What are they? 60. That's about what it was up top.
Yeah. Awesome.
I put it in one pedal drive and just coasted the whole way down.
One of our hikers, sir?
I'm one of the hikers. No, I'm not one of the
okay.
hikers.
Oh,
Oh no, I just gave him a ride up and back.
okay.
I'm John.
Glad you
Yeah.
got to go.
Can I go down the road? Can I quickly fill up my water bottle?
Yeah, I'll pull in over here. I
Okay.
can. Yep.
No, we're just going back to Saturday and going down the hill towards Portland.
Okay,
That's
nice.
fun,
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Right on.
Seeing is amazing.
Yeah, it did.
The only other car that does this is the Tesla dual engine.
Yeah.
Motor that comes
Yeah.
out ice cold also.
Yeah, and this is a dual motor. You know, it never touches the brakes. You just regen. I got. It's funny. Used 40 miles of range going up, but I got 20 miles back coming down.
Oh, nice.
So, it's pretty cool. So I'm doing a whole video thing for the F150 Lightning group, because
Oh,
not
nice.
many people can take their cars up.
I think this is the first one I've seen going up here. This is,
Yeah. So this will end up on YouTube. So
Nice. Excellent, sir.
Right on.
Excellent driving.
All right, thanks.
Have a great day.
No, it's on Facebook though.
Okay.
Yeah. Check on YouTube for F150 Lightning Mauna Kea, and it
Okay.
should come up. It'll probably be a couple of days before I get it all processed. Right
Is
on.
this all-wheel drive at all times?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's
You
faster.
don't have to turn it on and off?
No, it's just automatic, and it's faster than a Ferrari.
Wow.
At 20 miles an hour, if you stomp on the gas, it'll light up the front tires.
Wow.
It's really impressive. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Okay guys, here we are back at the visitor center. I gained 20 miles of range coming down. That was 7.9 miles. That's 6.9 miles per kilowatt hour. Not too bad. Now back to Kawaihae and see what we end up with on the way back. Hey guys, we are pulling back into Kawaihae Harbor after 63 miles. That is from the summit all the way to the ocean. And I will pull out my cell phone and do the video and show you what kind of miles per kilowatt hour we got. I think you'll find it interesting. Aloha gang, we are back to the exact same parking spot that we started from this morning. And as I mentioned, we've done 63.2 miles from the 14,000 foot summit to sea level in Kawaihae. We got 20.7 miles per kilowatt hour on the return trip, and that is starting from all the way at the top all the way to the ocean. So I think that's pretty interesting. That's probably a new world record, possibly. So thanks for joining me on this trip. I had a blast. I cannot believe the amazingness of the pictures that I got, and it's been a fun day. I picked up a couple of backpackers from Austria at the visitor center and took them up to the top, and then brought them down here to Kawaihae afterwards, and they were a fun couple to have join me, and it was a great day. So aloha.